Hello, and hopefully you can hear me clearly. Welcome to SRC Race Night, and we're in the Porsche Cup at Circuit de la Catalunya, Barcelona. It's an evening race, so the track's going to cool down. We're also in the Porsche Cup, so it's going to be slippy. I've already seen a few cars spinning, but the tables on screen are as they are. Peter, lead lap eSports Racing, 104 points, is not racing today, so consequently it gives others the chance to catch up. Henrik Camera, Bright Esports, currently in second. He is on track, he's looking very quick as well. Mark Rogers, one of the PWS guys, is currently in third place with 94 points. Equally, he's looking fast as well. Then got Terry Howard, who's the first of the silver. Fairview Racing does like the Porsche, does Terry, and he's actually running very well. He could be a surprise podium here. He's got the car drifting really well, actually. And then for the bronze, we've got Goran Larson, who's not racing, unfortunately, so he's not going to be able to take part. And then we've got Andrew Ambrogini, Team Ambro, on 96 points. He will be racing, so he can capitalise on the fact that Goran is unavailable. And then in third place, we've got Petri Vitala, PJ Racing. I've not seen him. He may turn up. But ultimately, there's only currently 8 cars on track. That could increase. But the Porsche Cup seems to be flailing a little bit in relation to people racing. That's why I've joined occasionally. But anyway, practice, we've got 3 minutes left of practice. So what I'll do is I'll go back onto practice and we'll go on board with who's currently on track and looking good. We'll go on board with Andrew Ambrogini. Okay, so we'll follow him round. What I'll do is I'll give you an explanation of the track, the corners, and, you know, from that perspective, understand where the braking points are, how to take the corners, where to get the power on, if I've got time, stuff like that. So, yeah, we'll see where it goes. I couldn't really say who's going to win this because it's all about who can keep it on track, if I'm being brutally honest. You know, there's so many good drivers, but equally, this track is renowned for this track and car combo, because of the corners and the braking, is renowned for potentially causing cars to go off. So it might be that someone leads really well for a long time, but unfortunately, they're not going to end up leading towards the end of the race. So we'll see where it goes. I'm just trying to get the corner names up in something that's actually half tangible for myself, so I can read it. But yeah, I'm not finding much actually. I do know most of them. I'm just trying to find the names so I can actually... What I didn't realise was my microphone's gone mute, so my apologies for that. I didn't think I'd caught it, but I must have caught it or something like that. So hopefully you can still hear me fine. I've not got the stream up running at the moment. Terry, that skin may be because I've not got it on my PC. I've rebuilt my PC, so that could just be me, that, Terry. My apologies for that. I have got a pack on here, but I don't know when I've got it, and I don't think there's one been released. in the last week, so I will try and dig it out, but my apologies for that for you. Just let me get that down there, and then I can see what's in the chat as well as what's on my stream, and then that'll be good. Anyway, so yeah, let me go back on track with Henrik Camera. All I would do, but he's gone into the pits. Mr. Herzeg, look at that, he's doing a nice bit of a handbrake turn there. Where is he on track? Coming up to the first hairpin, and we've got what is going to be official qualifying just about to start. So let me restart this into official qualifying, and there we go. So we are now in official qualifying. So what sort of times are we looking for? I've seen a 147. So will we get a 147? I don't know, but a 147 is definitely on the table, definitely on the cards. I think a 147 will claim pole, but I will think we'll see Christopher, Jared, Rogers, Camera, at least in the 48s, and possibly Howard as well. So let's see where it goes anyway. So this is an outlap. This is going to have no bearing on the times at all. And then what I'll do is I'll jump on board with Mr. Herzig here when he gets round to the end of the track, and we'll do a cockpit view and go through some of the turns from his perspective. Hopefully he'll make a clean lap, so as to not spoil the track run, shall we say. So with it being an evening track, the temperatures you'd expect to drop, but actually the track temperature is 22 and the air temperature is 22. So actually it's not too bad. It's not going to burn the tyres out, and this track can do that on the sweeping right-handers. So I think the tyres are going to last the race much better than normal. Doesn't mean they're not going to spin. It just means I think the tyres are going to last a little bit more. So anyway, we'll see where that takes us. So he's coming up to the downhill section, and this will take him up through to the third sector. So we're now in the third sector. We've got a right-hander coming up, and you got to get the car balanced through here so you can get the power down. If you get the angle right, you can get the power down early. Otherwise, you'll be fighting with the car around the corner. I say we'll see when we go on board with him. He's just coming through the chicane. He can make or break loads of time there, believe it or not. Alright, so we'll go on board with him. So he's coming down the straight now. So you can get a lot of power on the straight, especially in the Porsche Cup, because it is a powerful car. And he'll be looking to put the car to the curb on the left-hand side, and then braking around the 100. There you go. Taking the apex as close as possible, getting the car to drift slightly to the left. This takes us into corner 1 and 2, which is Elf and Renault. And we've got the long sweeping right-hander, which is turn 3. Again, he'll be waiting to put the power down, then he'll get the power down and get the car to drift left. Go under the bridge, and that takes us into Repoil, which is T4. Again, this is a delayed acceleration. You put the power down towards the end of the corner, and then you'll get the car to the right-hand side, brake late, and try and take the apex onto this mini hairpin. Get the car to drift right, get the power down, and then go downhill. I think I said uphill before, my mistake. Get the car to drift left, corner 6, corner 7. This corner on the left and the right-hander is where you're more likely to have track limits on the right-hand side. Then you can get the power down, ease off the power coming into corner 9, which is Campsa. Get the car to drift left, get the power down, straight downhill, keeping the throttle really pressed. Put your braking point, again, usually around just before the 100-metre marker. Get the car to drift in on the La Casa corner 10. Good corner there. Takes into corner 11, cut the curb. Again, keep this corner close to the curb as possible, then drift the car out to the left, T12, which is Bagda Sabadell. Power down, and then on the next right-hander, you're looking to brake early, not hit the curb on the side. That takes us to Europe car T13. Then we've got 14 and 15 in the chicane. Again, not hitting the curbs. Getting the car as left as possible within track limits. Cutting it as much as possible on the inside to get the power down, which is T16, which is New Holland. And then it's flat out down the straight. That's a very good lap, that. From Mr. Herzig, and that was a 149, but we did see Mark Rogers put in a 148.615 there. So you can see they're already in the 148s. So I'm going to go to Rogers because Rogers is on a good lap here. He's on a 148, but he's 3/10 up, so he's looking to get into the low 148s here. Yeah, he's 4/10 up as we speak, so he's doing quite a good job. He's lost a bit of time there. Yeah, he's eking time. So if you slow into one corner and you get the exit wrong, it will penalise you for the rest of that sector until you get to the next hard braking point, when you can probably stabilise it. Now he is gaining a little bit now, so he's obviously took the exit to the next cut. The first corner he's just done a little bit quicker. Again, looking to get the inside, get the power down. He's gained a lot of time there, but again the acceleration was slow, and what he's gained he's lost. And you can see Ambrogini there has just done a 148 flat, so he's looking quick as well as Mr. Ambrogini. So he's still up. He's 8/10 up here, Mark Rogers, so he is going for the 147, which is what I predicted would happen. He's still 8/10 up. If he can get this corner nailed, he will actually end up in the 147 8s, 147 7s. Let's see what we get. We get a 147 795. So I'm just waiting to see if that's going to be beaten. Unlikely, no idea, but we shall see. We'll go on board with Jared. Jared is 4/10 up as we speak. This will take him again into the 147s potentially. If he can gain a bit more time, he will gain a lot more time from there as well, and that could take him into the 147s too. Got a yellow flag on track, which is Mr. Howard's gone into the pits. Just see there, he's greying the wheels. He's still half a second up. He's lost the time, and as you can see there, he's gone off a little bit. So he's parking it up there as we speak. And we're going back to green flag. Okay, let's go on board with Ambrogini again. So Andrew Ambrogini is looking extremely quick again here. He looks like he could be going to take pole position. Hi Mark. Hi Melvin. 3/10 up. Is he going to do it? And Andrew Ambrogini does it with a 147.65, and you can see his sector split times there as well. So Ambrogini's looking really fast, and he's just pulling over onto the side of the track. He's obviously thinking, can I do any more to that car? And can I get it tweaked a little bit? So yeah, looking interesting. So Camera is the only one who's currently on track making any gains. He's only ever slightly up, but again he's knocking on the 147's door here, and as it stands he is going to get into the 147s. He's 1/10 up at the moment. He needs another 10th really, just to see if he can get more out of it, and he's lost a lot of time there. He's gained time, so this tells me actually Camera has probably got 3-4 tenths in the bag, looking at his split as his times as he goes on through this. He's now 3/10 up, so he's already lost 2 tenths, and he's now 3 tenths back up, so he's got half a second in the bag in reality. That was a bad exit. That's cost him a lot of time, but he's got the power down very early. He's going to go for it. Is he going to get pole at the moment? Looking good, and he does with a 147.757. He's literally 0.08 of a second ahead of Ambrogini there. So that was an excellent lap there by Camera. So 3 drivers in the 147s. Let's go on board with Mr. Christopher. Well, we would do, but he's decided to bin it a little bit. So we've now got 2 yellow flags on track. Camera, who's gone to the pits, and Christopher, who's probably going to do the same. So let's see where this takes us now. I'm going to go on board with Herzig. So he's currently on par with his current time, which is a 148.652. And fair credit to these guys. He's a new guy to the group, so we don't know much about him. He's done a couple of GT3 races, but I think it's the first time in the Porsche Cup. So it will be interesting to see how well he does. Thing is with the Porsche Cup, it's such a difficult car. If you don't try, you won't learn. And I think it's fair to say it is a tricky car. As you can see there, a bit of over-rotation. That's just a case of either braking too late or putting the power down too early and having a mismatched balance in your car. You know, the setup of the downforce and that, because that can cause that under braking as well. Brake bias could be wrong. Brake bias is in the wrong area. The car will carry on rotating. when he's broke because the back wheels aren't locking up the same. You can see there again, he's so desperate to get the power down to improve his lap time. Right, I'm going to go to Terry Howard. Terry Howard's 1 second up at the moment. This will put him only into the 148s, but we have seen Terry flying before, so we'll keep an eye on that. We have got someone who's looking to go for pole. He was, but he's lost all this time. He would have claimed pole, and that was Mark Rogers. He's gaining again though, so Rogers is looking really good. Howard's now 1.5 seconds up. Rogers has lost all his time, and he's better known as binned it. I think it's fair to say. So Howard there did a 1:48.9. Let's start on board with Howard for this lap. Let's see how he does. Yeah, this is the one where you want to power down and then try and get the corner. And get the power down on the exit, which is a bit harder in the Porsche compared to the GT3s. He's doing it well there. He changed gear just to get more grip. Reduce the torque a little bit. Yeah, again, he is up here. 1/10. He needs a couple of tenths really to jump Mr. Herzig. Now that's gone wide, track limits. I'm not too sure whether that would actually be a warning there. But that does mean his lap will be invalidated as a result of it. But it's good to see everyone's running the new Porsche rather than the old Porsche. So obviously the new Porsche was in DLC, so everyone who's racing's actually got the new DLC. Nicky Honest, I registered him before because I saw he was practicing, and I thought, if we have to wait for him to register, he may not have done it. So I registered him so he could jump on the server. So yeah, that's how Nick's managed to run. I will mention it to him, but I just didn't get time to message him. Plus, he was in the game. So Terry is up. So is David Gerrard. David Gerrard's actually struggling. He's usually quite good in the Porsche Cup, but he seems to be struggling to make inroads. He's going okay now. He's 2 tenths up, and Howard's 2 tenths up. So yeah, and Camera is going quicker again, but not quick enough to be shouting about. Now I've got a board full of green with the exception of 2 drivers, so everyone now is on a really quick lap. So maybe there's a bit of rubber coming down on the track now. The temperature is still 22 degrees, so consequently that's not going to be an issue. The track temperature isn't dropping quickly. You wouldn't expect it to with it being in Spain anyway. So Terry's still 1/10 up here. He is losing time though now. He's not going to jump Herzig at the moment, looking at this. And now everyone's in the red. So you can just see how cruel this track is now. As people try to push and push and push and push. It's just starting to spit the car out now a little bit. I'm not going to try and contemplate who's going to spin first. It could be absolutely anybody. Now Terry's made a good bit of time up here. Can he get the final corner right? He's a bit late on the power and he's losing time. If he could have got the power down a little bit earlier, he'd have been much better there. Oh no. He's alright coming through here. Can he get the power down right here? Here he is, yeah. Now he's eased off. He had the power down and I think he realised the car weren't going to make it, so he backed off. He's 2 tenths up though. Is he gonna jump? No, he's not. So he's gone closer to Herzig but hasn't jumped him. I'm gonna go to Camera. Camera is 2 tenths up. So we know he's already got pole with a 1:47.757. Now he's only into sector 1, he's now into sector 2. So we'll see what his time's going to be like in sector 2. He's 4 tenths up at the moment. He's really making a claim for that pole. He's lost a bit of time. Time's settling around 3 tenths. We'll see where it takes him at the end. He's just dropped into 2/10, but he got the power down early there. So that was a slowing fast out example. Yeah, he's now coming to the end of Sector 2 and he's now entering Sector 3. So now in Sector 3, comes to the little hairpin where he can lose or gain a load of time. And he's actually gained a boatload of time there. He's 6/10 up as we speak. And he's losing time now in this corner. He's just not getting the power down as he wants it. So he's now down to 4/10. He was 8/10 up at one point. It goes to show just how quick he can actually be here. He's still 4/10 up. Is he going to gain, lose? He's got the power down well here. Is he going to keep it? No, he's took the power off a little bit. So he's 4/10 up. This is going to be a 147. And there's a 147.330 Henrik Camera. Excellent lap that. Very well done. No one else is making gains. So at the moment, Mr. Camera's the person to beat. Yeah, let's go on board with Christopher. All looks fine from my perspective, Melvin. Anybody else comment on that? It is 1080p, 60 frames per second. In OBS, it looks clear. I mean, my settings in OBS should be quite good. I've actually got the YouTube stream up. Just let it settle because I am on HD. It's very... I know what you mean, actually, Melvin. All the surrounding information looks okay, but the track stuff doesn't look as clear. Maybe that's what you're referring to. That'll purely be down to the streaming and the bit rate. Hi, Kai. So, Christopher's had a bit of a problem. And basically, his car's jumping around. You will see it. He's the only one doing it, and you'll see his car going around corners. It'll just flip, and like a dart there. I don't know if anybody saw it then. It's just like a dart. And he's done a complete reinstall, but he's still got the same problem. So we're trying to work out where his fault is now. Apparently, yeah, you could see his back end then. That wasn't the twitch. The back end. Oh, and there he goes straight into the good old Barry, our friend Barry. And Henrik's gone even faster with a 147.1. But I think Christopher's got internet problems because apparently BT checked his line and said there is a fault. So hopefully that'll fix his problem. But it does look like he's been suffering. Doesn't affect his experience. It's just a few cars behind will see it. But his ping, as you can see, is the same as everyone else's. So it's definitely a connection issue or something. But Rogers is looking quick. I know he's just started the lap, but he is up. Let's see where Rogers goes with this, because we do know Rogers is a quick driver once he gets that lap sorted. It's an out lap, so it doesn't really matter about track limits. Howard's off the track as well. And Rogers is pushed too much while his tyres are cold. And they're now racing off track. They're doing a bit of dirt rally. What it'll probably be, Melvin, is I know YouTube's changed something recently, and a lot of the videos aren't rendered at full quality initially. But I will tell you what my settings are just to confirm. Because if it's my settings, I'll apologise in advance. I'm using 5000 bitrate, which should be more than enough. So yeah, I've not got anything set that's... and I've definitely got it at 1920 by 1080 at 60 frames per second. So I've got everything set as I'd expect it within Streamlabs. No one's going fast now. Nicky Honest is on a fast lap. He's 6/10 up. Don't know if he's gonna. I think he might just try and jump in actually. So we might have another driver. What I'll do, Melvin, is next time I'll try and up the bit rate a bit more to see if that cures it. As I said, I've reinstalled my machine, so I've got a lot of the settings have gone from memory. And, you know, I am getting old like everyone else, and I don't necessarily mean I remember everything. I was just amazed I still actually could manage to stream, let alone get all the settings and all the parameters correct. So, yeah, if it's bad, that's on me, that, and I do apologise in advance. But, you know, we'll see where we go with it. So Nick is still going well here. He's now into the 149s. So he's not going to be loitering at the back, shall we say. If you are in the chat and you haven't said hi, just put a little message to say hi. I don't know. I'm just going to check if the person who's trying to join is registered. If they're not registered, they can't race. Your name's not on the list. You're not coming in. I'll just check to see if that person is indeed registered. They may be, they may not be. He is registered. We should be able to jump on. So we might end up with another driver who won't have done a qualifying session, so we'll see. I've told them they've got 3 minutes to jump on. It is evening time, Melvin. Is that something to do with it? Obviously, the sun's not out, so it's not bright. Obviously, I can't change anything to do with the brightness of the game because that's just the nature of the beast. I know. Is it not letting you into quali then? Because it should let him. I don't know if I don't actually. I'm speaking here. I don't know if Brian's in the chat. Oh, he said he's in, but I can't see him. Interesting. He's trying to join, but he can't. How much fuel, anyone? Oh, you're best probably putting that in the chat in the game. Nick. And he can't get in. Interesting. Yeah, Brian's struggling saying the server's full. That usually means password's incorrect. Best him. He's run out of time to get in. Because I can definitely see he's registered. In fact, he was registered as bronze. He got straight to platinum. Kimbeck's racing team. Oh, he should be in. Don't know why it's not letting him in. Sorry, just had to sneeze then. Luckily you didn't get to hear that one because that would have took your ears out. Why it's not letting him in? Interesting. Right. So quali's over now. Okay, so I'm just waiting for the grid to form. Then I'll do a quick grid walk. And then from that perspective, we should be good to go. So just to reiterate, qualifying pole was 1:47.195 and is held by Camera, who got Sector 1 fastest and Sector 2 fastest. Sector 3 fastest, my apologies. Sector 2 fastest was Mr. Rogers. Well, as I said, Mr. Rogers is quick. He's very close to Ambrogini. I will say Ambrogini's done a fantastic race there, qualifying session, getting into second place. It does take some time for the grid to form, so because I think it's at 180 seconds. And the reason why we do that is because not all drivers are as quick as the quick guys, so it gives them a chance to get round and do a complete lap. What I'll do then, I'll make sure I up the bit rate for next time. If that video that's playing at the moment looks nice and clear, it's not the stream per se. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the grid. Excel set up, ready. Yeah, it's quite dull at the moment on track, so that's really not going to help things a little bit. And then what we'll do is we'll have a quick grid walk. So in pole position with the fastest time of 1:47.1 is Henrik Camera. Second place, Andrew Ambrogini with an excellent, also in the 1:47s. And we got Mark Rogers, who also made it into the 1:47s, first the Team PWS cars. And then Mark Christopher, who I think he's going to do better than he did in qualifying, I think it's fair to say. So he's in the red PWS car. And then David Gerrard, who's always is also going to be quicker, I think, in the race if they can keep it on track. And he's in the pink PWS car. Then we got Herzig, a new racer to the Porsche Cup. So it'll be interesting to see where he finishes. And welcome to the race. And at the back we've got the two cars of Howard and Ionis. So this is the first time Ionis has raced in the Porsche Cup. Credit for him joining, and I do hope he has a good race. So that's the starting grid really. We'll see where that takes us in relation to the race itself, and then I think we're good basically to go. I'm just going to try and get my cursor back. Right, let's go to the helicam, get ourselves set up, ready to roll. Let's rock and roll, shall we? Let's get ready to rumble. Right. There we go. We're moving now. Everyone's ready to go. We've got drivers ready to start racing. Bit of a long run down to the start and finish. through the curvy section. Thank God the car's ghost, because on a full grid, and you can see camera's decided he wants to go a different way. It's so easy to do in the Porsche Cup. He's now going to have to put his foot down and get in position. He's just got away with that, and you can see the benefit of the car's ghost in there. So easy to do in the Porsche Cup. I've done it before. I did it on Kota. And yeah, I damaged my car because I hit the barrier. Off we go. Flying down the straight. Hendricks kept his position. Christopher's going very, very deep there. He wants to claim second place. He has done it from Ambrogini. Rogers is looking to take the inside. And we've got Howard right up the back end of Gerard towards there as well. So Gerard's just gone a little bit wide. Christopher's definitely putting pressure on Ambrogini early on here. But that Howard's going to go wide there. Too quick in with cold tyres, I think, there, Howard. And Howard's going to lose places now, I think. He's just managed to keep it going, actually. I think I didn't see what happened. The game sounds low. Okay. Let's see if I can increase that. Let me know if that's any better. I have increased it. I'll tell you what it might be. Might be the fact that my apologies. Let me know how that sounds. That better? Let me know. Answers on a postcard. A tad more. Right, okay. Okay. I'll give you a lot more then. There you go. Any better? Let's get in a car. Let's go to the cockpit view. How's that? More? Crikey, Charlie, I'm going to start calling you all Oliver. Lisa, can I have some more? Right, let's give you some more then. I'll give it full beans. There you go. Full beans. How's that? Now I've got it full volume in Streamlabs. You can see I've got it full volume in the game. And what I don't want it to do is feed back onto my microphone. Too loud now? Jeez. So is it too loud or not? Because these levels are set, will be set for... My voice is loud. Right, I can lower my voice. If that's what you're requiring. Hi, Jorgen. Making no difference on the volume. Right. I'm going to go to Gerard, because Gerard's putting pressure on Rogers here. Let's see if I can find a way of boosting the sound. Just hold on a minute. Right, how's that? Tell me if you're getting deafened. Anything? Right, oh, better, right. Right, okay. How's that in the game? And how's that with my voice? Too much down on the game now. No, but I can fix that now. How about now? Up. Let it settle. Get the volume right first. Yay, nay. 1, 2, 3. More on the gain. Not now. Gain better. My voice okay. Perfect. Right. Testing 1, 2, 3. Right. Okay. I've got a couple of perfects there. Right, you can see there the cars in front. There's quite a bit of a. Let's go to Lamborghini and let's go to his wing cam because he's being followed now by Rogers quite closely. So Rogers is in 4th place. Howard did go off track again. The fastest lap is a 1:47.867 at the moment. I do think Rogers will gain here. See if that fastest lap gets beaten. Heard your voice earlier. I can't win. I can't win. Timing splits. Ah, yes, that's right. So what you're saying is you want them. Okay. It's too low now. You're a hard bunch to satisfy. I can turn my voice up very easily. How's that? Try it on my microphone. Turn my microphone up. Yay, nay. Alternative, I can just put a blooming headset on. Right. Yeah, Melvin, come on. Let me know. Let me know. How's that? Oops, didn't want to see that. That's a mistake, sorry. There you go. So he's managed to pull away his Lamborghini now. So let's go to Rogers. And let's go to cockpit camera Rogers. He's being but a bit tinny. Right, let me get a headset. Just hold on a minute. How's that sounding? Anyone want to complain? Now you know why people don't like streaming. Because it's such a pain in the backside to get right. How does that sound anyway? Anybody? Hello? Move to Gerard because Gerard's going a little bit quicker. Catching Rogers up now. Anybody? Am I coming through loud and clear? You know what? I've no idea thinking about it. Hello? Anybody hear me? Well, that's it. I can't do anything more, to be honest. If frustrating. So, can I now currently be heard? Okay. Right, I'll concentrate on the racing now. I'm going to go to Mr. Herzig at the back, who's putting pressure on Nicky Onis. Cheers, Melvin. So car levels are all right, we're saying. Everything happy with the car levels, my voice, as we're now happy medium between the two. Because I'm losing the will to live. I can't hear the stream for obvious reasons. It comes feedback. You can see there. I'm quite happy to open the stream and see for myself. Right, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will open the stream and just see if we can confirm what you guys are on about and see if I've done something wrong. Right, okay. Well, I've got the stream open. Right, okay. So, my voice can be heard clearly now, are we saying? Because I've gone back to my headset, which is what I used last week, when I did the race last week. So I've got my headset, and obviously I'm keeping track of what's going on in the game. Right, cheers. And the game level is fine. So if everything's fine, I'll carry on with the full commentary rather than trying to fix the problems. Right, okay. As you can see, Roger's caught up with Ambrogini now. These two guys are racing, and Ambrogini is catching up with Christopher. So Christopher did actually, I think he got him early on, didn't he? So Ambrogini's catching up with Christopher. So we'll see how well Christopher does and whether he can keep Ambrogini at bay, or it ends up getting a bit slidey. Meanwhile, Camera has took off into the distance. He's really disappeared. The track temperature has dropped down to 21 degrees. So we should start seeing some tyre cooling going on, so hopefully the drivers have made a... Right, okay. Right, I've lowered the game level. You tell me if that's alright now, newbie. Well, Martin Brundle's got millions of pounds of professionals sat by him, helping him, and me, myself and I. Anyway. So we've got three cars here vying for what will be second place and third place on the podium. Christopher's currently running well here, and he's 3/10 at Rogers. Rogers, I think, obviously has lost the place somewhere, but I think Rogers will probably catch up at some point. And Ambrogini's looking very quick, so Ambrogini's looking to get Christopher to make a mistake, I think. Oh, and we would do, but Ambrogini's had a disconnect. He's had disconnects before, and he's had one again. What a shame. He's been having problems with his disconnects. He said he's got internet issues. That's such a shame, that, him flying off into the sunset. Literally, he was going to be livid because he was having such a good race there. Don't you just hate it when that happens? So I'm going to go back down to Rogers, because I think Rogers is going to put Christopher under pressure at some point, and then we'll see a PWS battle going on. don't know if he's going to catch Christopher, but my money's on Christopher more likely to go off than Rogers having to catch him. Because in qualifying he was quite twitchy, he was getting the car off track quite a lot, mind you, so was Gerard, and they're both doing really well actually. Hey, Mr. Young's in the house. Don't you start on the volume, mate. I was ready to switch the stream off. Rogers really pushing there. Meanwhile, camera's 2 seconds a lap faster. Oh, for quiet men. I'm not even going there. Really not going there. Turn your stream up. Yeah. It's really difficult to get the sound levels right. Definitely gaining on Christopher here. Does seem to be parts of the track though where Christopher is quick, and these are leaving Gerard behind. Howard settled down now, 3 seconds behind Gerard. Get to hear the Porsche outside. Got a cracking engine with the gear change. That scream as it changes gear and wants to get the power down again. Now I'm going to go to Herzig because Herzig is gaining on. Oh, don't go too fast. He was gaining on Ionis there. So Herzig was pumping in some good laps in qualifying. I think he's just pushing too much, or the tyres are causing him a problem. The temperature's now down from 22 to 21. So it's only 1 degree. Well, that probably equates to 0.1 of a PSI. So if they're running them, and then you've got the issue of keeping them warm as part of the race as well. So the car's got more fuel in it, which potentially causes more friction. However, you're not potentially going as fast as qualifying, so you're not working the tyres as much. So it's a double-edged sword really. Yeah, he's lost a lot of time there to Nick. And go back to Rogers. Rogers is 1.5 seconds behind Christopher. He was 2, so he is gaining. He gained half a second that lap alone. So I think he's really putting the pressure on Christopher now as they come through the final sector. You can see Christopher's car jank across the track there with his internet issues. Rogers there just claiming some of that curb to give him a better drive out. And that has worked. He's gained a 10th there. Be interested to see how much he gains. He's gained another 10th. So that drive out of that last corner has really made him faster down the straight. Yeah, and Christopher brakes later in the corner there. But Rogers has gained overall. He's gained another 10th. Rogers is really pushing it round there, man. Christopher's not going slow either. The pair of them are really pushing it. Yeah, Rogers is gaining on Christopher here. You can see 3/10. I'm looking at the split times and I can see the 3/10. He's just gained on him. Not going to be long before he's right up his jacks. He's now 0.8. Flying at the moment though is Rogers. Definitely putting pressure on. This is going to be his fastest lap. But the fastest lap at the moment is being held by Camera with a 1:47.867. And he's 10 seconds clear of Christopher. So that's just evened off a little bit now. "25 minutes to go, 45-minute race." Yeah, Rogers is right there now, half a second. Let's go to Christopher's rear wing. And we'll see him gain hopefully in the first couple of sectors. You'll see Christopher's car jolt around as well, so you can, you know, it's not just me imagining it. You will see on the straight because it only jolts in the corners, and you'll see what I mean by it. So far so good. Yeah, you saw it then. Little twitch. That's his lag he's getting. And again then. Rogers is really good under braking there. He's really gained on him. And again, really good braking, Rogers. He's half a second, sorry, off, four tenths off. He did cut that track there, so that was, he did go track limits. I don't know if he's got any warnings. I don't have that information available. But he's now getting in the dirty air of Mark, so this is going to mean it's going to be harder for him. Not necessarily around that corner, because that corner it doesn't use downforce. But we'll get to the corner on the right where you get up to 70 mile an hour. That's when downforce kicks in, apparently. And you hit the magical 70 mile an hour. Rogers isn't using as much as the curb there. He's just tentative as he gets to the peak of the apex. Howard's off track. He's going again. He's got some muck on the back of his car, so I presume he's been off, but I don't think he's got damage. So he's managed to survive whatever he's done. He is in 4th place though, so if someone falls off in front of him, he will do well, but he is 11 seconds off the pace now. I think this is where the battle is at the moment. Meanwhile, Camera is still pulling away in front. Let's see how his driving's going. Nice and neat. That's the track limits there, though. That is the corner where you get your warnings. I'll tell you where you get your warning. With the other corner, you can get a warning as well. The two obvious ones on this track are that corner there, and not the apex here. But if you drift too far wide and keep it planted, you can get a track warning there as well. So that's the two main areas where you're likely to get a track warning here. Hi Mike, you get warned at every corner. You want to stay on track. Obviously the curb stops you cutting the corner here, as does this curb here. The other corner you can get warnings on is this on the left hand side. If you go too far off track and keep it planted, you'll get a warning there as well. They're really the corners that penalise you with warnings, really, from that perspective. They're the three. You could, in theory, do it in one lap. You can see Camera's just flying now. 1:48.1. So that's a really good time he's got. Go back to Rogers. He's gaining again on Christopher. Just went a bit deep there. You don't use the gain time on that corner because of the stand. It usually slows you down, so you do get away with it even if you keep your foot planted. I think one of these two is definitely going to claim second, but I'm not putting money on any of them yet. I think there's a mistake in probably both of them. But Rogers is usually a lot more sturdy during a race. But I can be proven wrong. Such a shame about Ambro. He was doing really well. See, Rogers has gone wide again in that corner. So this is the other corner where you can get track limits there. Now that's track limits, that's got potential warning that. So we want to keep an eye on that. That was very, very wide. So if he eased off, he'll get away with it. If he's kept his foot planted, that's probably a warning. You can see he's backed off actually from Christopher. He's lost half a second. Christopher's still going, keeping his head in it. But he's gone a bit deep there actually. He just went a little bit wide. You can see he's gone very wide on the curb, and that's allowed Rogers to really catch up again. So Rogers caught half a second out of him there as a result of him going wide. And again, Rogers has set himself up, as has Christopher, to get out of that corner really well. Both took really good exits there. And we've got another off, David Gerrard, who's just recovering. He went wide on the track there, so he's going again. So are we going to see any drive-throughs, interestingly enough? I definitely think there's definitely track limits going on. I don't know if the warnings, as I said, I don't get that information. Love it if we did, but unfortunately we don't. Ooh, that was very deep by Rogers. He had to brake late there. That'll cost him. You can see there, that's allowed Christopher to pull away a little bit. This is really the only battle on track. At least we've got something. Otherwise, it'd be a bit dull. Meanwhile, Camera's still going quicker up front. He's seemed to be pulling out half a second a lap on these guys consistently. Now, Christopher's not under pressure. Christopher does have the fastest first sector, but no one is improving on the lap times. Herzeg's 2/10 up on his best lap time, but he's 8 seconds behind Nicky Honest at this moment in time. And again, you can see Rogers is just starting to pull him back in again, but every time he gets within half a second, he just seems to lose a lot of time. And I don't know whether it is dirty air causing it. Got the power down well there. Equally, so did Christopher in front of him. Let's follow Christopher and see if anyone can spot his car janking around. I did say janking. It's only subtle what you get with his car moving around, but you do see it. There you go. You saw his car just jolt to the left there. And again there, it's straightened up. So that's the problem he's got. As I said, it's not his ping. His ping's fine. There's something else going on his internet. He has contacted BT this week. You can see there he had another big twitch there. And they said they found a fault, so hopefully whatever the fault is they can fix, and then that will fix his problem. But it's been going on for a while. We saw quite a big one there, and although it's not affecting his race, that little twitch, if he's alongside someone, could potentially, with a netcode, you can see how much of a twitch was there, could cause a netcode issue. Because before the twitch, that's where the game thinks he's going, and then the twitch obviously realigns the car with reality. So while it's on that other trajectory, he could potentially hit somebody. Put the power down too much there. His car was struggling with grip there. Let's go back to Rogers as we try and catch up with Christopher. Back within a second again now. We'll see at which point he starts losing time again. Okay, hold that corner. You've really got to hold off putting the power down. Otherwise the car will just drift left. Rogers is very quick through this sector. Although, oh, he's decided he wanted to kiss with Barry. Good old friend Barry. And this is allowing Gerrard to gain. So Gerrard's going to come round that corner any second now and realise that Rogers has has had a bit of a spin. So Gerard's 2.5 seconds behind. That could have very well caused problems for his tyres. He's really struggling now getting the power down. So I did say one of them would probably make a mistake. I did say also it was unlikely to be Rogers. But you know, this is the thing with sim racing and driving a difficult car. Anybody can make a mistake. And in this example, it was Rogers. Too much power down too early, and it's allowed basically David Gerard to take a huge chunk of time out of him. Gerard will see that, and he's gone from 2.5 seconds when he first caught him up down to 1.9. So he's definitely contemplating, I've got a bit ability to catch Rogers here, and actually he's taking time off him for fun at the moment. We'll see what it transpires to once Rogers gets his tyres back up and running again, but you can see in the distance he's now down to 1.5 seconds, or just over 1.5 seconds. So he's definitely gaining. Nicky Honest is yellow. Let's have a quick replay of that and see what's happened to Nicky Honest. So he's come round. So far so good. I thought it was that corner. He's obviously put the power down too soon somewhere. There. He's carried on with the power. That's not too bad a touch that on the wall, to be fair. And that's a good correction, but he has pitted himself. Let's go back to Gerard. So Gerard got within a second of Rogers there. So there's a possibility that that's ever so slight spin has just caused a problem with Rogers' tyres. Now, the other thing is if Rogers is on a couple of track warnings, he's going to be aware he can't push the same. So that could be enticing Gerard as well. But equally, that could put Gerard into a territory of going off on a track warning as well. Christopher's disappeared into the distance now. He's 9 seconds clear of Rogers, but himself he's 16 seconds behind camera. As that Gerard then just over-rotating the car a little bit. He just seemed to steer one way or the other, just as if he was trying to resettle the car there. Not too sure it's what it looked like. Christopher's putting a very slow lap that lap. Christopher put in a 1:51 that lap. So Gerard was 2 seconds quicker than Christopher. So Christopher's made a mistake somewhere. That's cost him a couple of seconds. So he's probably gone wide. He's also probably grateful he's done that when he's not being put under pressure, because that sort of gap would have given Rogers the opportunity to pass him earlier on. Obviously that's not going to be the case now. And Rogers is slowly, I mean, he's got a long way to go. We've only got 11 minutes of the race left to go and he's 9 seconds behind. So even a second a lap isn't going to be enough here. But Gerard isn't giving up. Gerard wants that final step on the podium. Let's have a quick rundown of the track. I'll keep an eye on the splits for these. Mr. Camera, 18 seconds clear, running all by himself without a problem, having a nice clean easy race. Mark Christopher, equally having a nice clean easy race, although his times aren't even close to Camera's times in relation to lap times. So he's just getting on with it at the moment, keeping himself ahead of and we've had a disconnect. Camera has gone. This now means Christopher is leading. So I don't know what's happened with Camera there, but he's gone. So Rogers is now in second and David Gerard is now in third. So I don't know what's happened there with Camera. 1 minute he was there, next minute he wasn't. That is obviously a total disconnect. And again, there doesn't seem to be any issues with the connection I've got. The other drivers who are currently on track are still on track without a problem. We've had no lagging or anything like that from anybody. Even when I followed Camera, there was no issue there. So it's a bit bizarre that. So then there were 6. So Howard is leading his group at the moment. No competition really. Behind him, 56 seconds behind, is Herzeg. He seems to have got to grips with that car now. And then Ionis, who's been into the pits after receiving a bit of damage, is carrying on. So let's go back to Gerard, who's trying to pull Mark Rogers in a little bit to see if he can put a bit of a race on and a bit of fight on. Not too sure whether he's going to do it or not. Still no drive-throughs. That does stand well. I reckon I'll get a drive-through on Sunday. I've got confidence. I won't be racing on Saturday, but helping me son decorate, so I can't race Saturday. I might try and jump on track tomorrow though. Have a bit of a warm-up. I've done no racing at all this week. Gerard's still not giving in. 0.9. This is the closest he's been though. 0.8. Now keeping it at 0.9, 0.7 there. Yes, that's very wide that though. Nearly went completely over the sausage. He's really pushing out that corner as well. You can see it. Yeah, it's that gap stabilised between these two. So at the moment, it's a PWS 1, 2 and 3. It wasn't looking that way. Mr. Ambrogini, Mr. Camera. Ambrogini went very early on, but the last race Ambrogini raced, he had the same problem. His connection didn't last far into the race at all, and then Camera's lasted till 10 minutes left to go. So he was racing 35 minutes. He had no problems in practice, no problems in qualifying. And then with 10 minutes to go, he got a disconnect as well. Gerard's closing him down now. He's had enough. He's half a second. So he's really putting pressure on. He's just gone deep into that corner. That's cost him. It's cost him a second, that corner. So I don't know whether he was in the dirty air of Rogers there, and when he put the brakes on the front end because of the air, just didn't want to grip at all. Because he seemed to go a little bit wide into the corner. You can see Rogers taking the quicker line through there. He's now gained, he's took 3/10 out of him again though. So Gerard's definitely the quick one on track at the moment. Just do a lap comparison, the last 3 laps. Yeah, Gerard's the fastest. Howard's the fastest on track. Gerard's the fastest out of the PWS guys as we speak. So Christopher's just done a 150.775. Gerard's done a 150.8 because he made that mistake. And Rogers did a 150.4. So Rogers is the quickest on track. He's got that gap down now from 9 seconds to 7 seconds on Christopher with 6 minutes to go. Four of the drivers did a 148 in the race though, so that's very respectable time for the race, certainly in this car. Gerard's getting in within a second again now, so you can see that's the corner he keeps braking late in, and he's got it right this time. He's made little gain as a result of getting the braking point right. The quali times, Mike, was a 147.1 by Mr. Camera. I think he actually had a 146 in him, but the majority of the drivers were in the 148s. Sorry, high 147s, my apologies. Rogers is the fastest person on track by a long shout. He's managed 267 Ks The next fastest one behind that is Howard, who's managed 265 k's. So I presume that's down the straight. He's now within a second. 4 minutes to go. Gerard's really trying here. It's a great car, to be fair. I know a lot of people don't like this car, but when you get in it and you can drive it and you can manage it and take it around the track, it's really a pleasure to drive. You can see there, Gerard's now into the 150 flats, so he's really putting pressure on now. So if he can do that each lap, he's 7/10 quicker. That could be potentially enough to get him on the last lap. But catching and passing are two different things. Rogers is not giving in here. He's really not giving in at all. Even though he's under pressure, he's actually keeping ahead now. Gerard is faster through this sector, actually, consistently. So this is Gerard's strongest sector. And you can see the time Gerard's took out of him there. It went from 1.3 to 0.7, so 0.6 of a second he's took out of him in that sector alone, and he's been doing that consistently. It's this final bit of the track he struggles with. He either needs to get that braking point nailed and get the power down right, so he gets a good drive. So he's got it to 7/10, but then Rogers gets a much better drive out, and we start again. And Rogers was a much wider line through there. That could compromise him, and it has done. You can see Rogers with a big twitch there of the car. Big twitch. Gerard would have saw that and thought, hey up, I've got a chance here. Both going off track there though. Rogers did go off track, exceeding track limits. Gerard did not. So very close lap times there. 150.4 and a 150.3 respectively. So both absolutely flying at the moment. Gerard's 7/10 behind. He's putting pressure on. We have 2 laps to go. For those who run low on fuel, good luck. That'll be twitchy bottom time now. Have you got enough fuel? They've closed Christopher down to 6 seconds now as well. As you can, it shows 8 there. I'm 7. Just pulled away a little bit. It was down to 6 seconds on the split I've got. Ionis is off. Sideways on the track. So I'm not too sure where he is there. That's the last sector, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's the last sector. Looking at that. Final bend onto the straight. As a guy comes to catch him. So he's being caught at the moment. Not too sure who it is. But Gerard now is within 6/10, so he's going to get in the dirty air now through the close. He's now to 4/10. You can see he's braking later through there, 4/10. Can he get a good drive on the straight? Gerard taking a much closer line there. Getting a good braking point. He's down to 3/10. Just managed to pull away there, Rogers, a little bit. Following each other round on what will be the final lap. Rogers manages to survive that, and again the laps 150.9 and a 150.6. He's not giving in, Gerard, here. This is the closest he's been, apart from when they started the race at the beginning. He's now into 3/10. This is where Gerard sometimes makes a mistake and goes deep under braking when he's in the dirty air. He's not done it this time. He's very close, and he's coming to the part of the track where he is quicker than Rogers. But as I said, he's got to pass him. So we're coming to the sector now where Gerard's quicker. But with the dirty air in front of him, is that going to compromise him? just seems to brake a bit later, doesn't he? Yeah, I think Rogers is going to hold off here. Unless there's a final spin. Is there a twist? Literally. Rogers looks like he's going to hold him at bay here. Just doesn't want the car to go off and slide around the corner. As we get to Mr. Christopher. He's coming round the final bend to claim the winning position. Rogers is going to hold him off to claim second. And Gerard claimed third. And in fourth place, only 11 seconds behind, we have Mr. Howard. Good race. And then Mr. Herzig is coming round a little bit longer. But as I said, new to the group, still learning, probably not driven this car before. Or if he has, it's you know, night time, different tyres. Not different tyres, but different temperatures. We did get down to 20 degrees as well. So we lost 2 degrees. Well done, Mr. Herzig. And then further behind that, we will have Nick Dionis. Credit to Nick for giving it a run. He's not raced this car before. He didn't have to race, he did. So well done there. And Gerard's disconnected already, even though the race isn't over. Very keen to quit the race there, shall we say. Oh, Herzig there going over the curbs. He's going round to finish the race. Going through the little chicane sector, sector 3. Bit wide there within track limits though. Ooh, drifting it there around the corner. Well done, Mr. Herzig. Nice control. And he finishes. Well done. And Ionis is classified as a finisher. So, thanks for watching, those who've watched. Sorry we had sound problems. Now I've got them nailed. I'll keep them settings for next time. See you on the next stream. I may be streaming my own race on Sunday. If I am, I'll put the relevant posts. Take care all. Goodbye.